Hey everyone. The purpose of this video is just to kind of explain how I set this reference sheet up and how to use it. It can be kind of confusing and overwhelming, so as soon as I start talking about measurement, I go over this with my students. And my curriculum spirals measurement conversions throughout the entire year. So anytime we multiply whole numbers, we throw in measurement conversions. Anytime we divide decimals, we throw in unit conversions, and so on. So this reference sheet is used throughout the year, so that way they can kind of start to memorize things. So with that being said, there's 4 different types of measurement. They have length, capacity, and on the back I have weight and time. I've set up the charts to where from top to bottom we have the smaller units, and as you go down they have the bigger units, and again for all of the different ones. So I've also kind of shown that if you're going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you divide. So again, from small to big, you divide, which is why I have the arrow with the division sign. And if you're going from a big unit to a small unit, you multiply. Big to small, you multiply. So I often say the exact same thing every single time we approach a problem. So, and I also do with my hands. If I'm going from a small unit to a big unit, now I do this with my arms, so it makes a division sign. I divide. If I'm going from big to small, I show them that with my arms as well, and I multiply. So with that being said, I talk about capacity here. I know some people use the Royal Land of Gallon, and I like to refer to it as well. I think it's very user-friendly for the kids to memorize, so I also refer to it here. And on the back, I have some weight. This is the only ones we talk about in 5th grade, and then I also have time. Some students may need to add their 7 days in a week, but I let them add that themselves. So what I'm going to do is just show you a few sample problems. You're welcome to play this video for your students, just as a quick little introduction. It does not matter to me. I just want to show you the method that I use to solve these. So I just wrote down 3 simple examples. I ask my kids the exact same questions every single time, so that way they can kind of start to memorize it. The first question is, when you're converting, which unit is smaller? So is the inches smaller or is the feet smaller? So for a couple of examples, they kind of have to look because, I teach them that an inch is from knuckle to knuckle, a foot is like from elbow to wrist, and a yard is like, an arm span, not necessarily, but, less than that. So it takes them a while to kind of realize, unfortunately, that inches are smaller than feet. So again, question number 1, which unit is smaller? And once they say inches, I make them put an S above inches because that is my smaller unit. And I make them put a B above feet because that's my bigger unit. That's it. So this shows them that I'm already in a smaller unit and I want to convert it to a bigger unit. So it takes more smaller units to make up a bigger unit. So that's why whenever I am going from small to big, I need to divide because it takes less bigger units to make up a smaller unit. And I often use the example as if I wanted to line up head to foot all the kindergartners in our school, it would take more kindergartners to line up the length of a football field than it would 5th graders because 5th graders are longer. So I say that like feet would be my 5th graders and inches would be my kindergartners, just to put it in real life terms. But again, I'm going from a small unit to a big unit, so I need to divide by how many small units it takes to make up a big. So I usually point to it. Divide by how many small units make up a big unit. How many inches make up a foot? So I come here, there are 12 inches in a foot. So that means I'm taking 36 and dividing it by 12. 36 divided by 12 is going to be 3. So 36 inches is equal to 3 foot. Then 3 feet. The next one, 4 gallons to pints. Question number 1. Which unit is smaller, gallons or pints? When they come here, they will notice that pints are smaller. So my smaller unit is pints, and gallons is my bigger unit. So then I ask them, am I going from small to big or big to small? And they're going to say big to small because I'm already in a big unit and I want to change it to a smaller unit. Big to small, I need to multiply. So that means 4 times I need to multiply by how many small units make up a big unit, by how many pints make up a gallon. And there are, inside this gallon, there are 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 pints in a gallon. 4 times 8 would be 32. So there are 32 pints in 4 gallons. And the last one I'm going to show you, 5 kilometers, change it to meters. Well, first question, which unit is smaller, kilometers or meters? And that would be meters. So meters is my smaller unit, kilometers is my bigger unit. Second question I asked them, are we going from a small unit to a big unit or a big unit to a small unit? And this one we're going from a big unit to a small unit. Big unit to small unit, we multiply 5 times. We multiply by how many small units make up a big unit, how many meters make up a kilometer, and 1,000 meters make up 1 kilometer. So 5 times 1,000 would equal 5,000. I hope this helps you a little bit with explaining. This is just the method that I use. There's plenty of other different strategies. This is just one that I found effective. And again, I often get my students to write things in as the year goes on, as they notice how many ounces are in a gallon. I mean, you could list multiple here, but I think it's better if they make those connections and they add a few more as well. Please be in touch if you have any questions, and I hope this helps out you and your students.